A filtered navigation hypothetical scenario is what we're going to run through, and the reason I've chosen this is that filtered faceted navigation is very common and it very regularly causes SEO issues. So in this scenario, I very creatively got a website called site.com, and this site we will say sells running shoes. The site structure is such that there are categories which all have /cat, and then we have the category name. So in this instance, we're going to say the URL we're dealing with is women's shoes. And if you went to this page, you're just going to get a list essentially of all of the women's shoes that we sell. Now, as I'm sure all of you know, having browsed websites before, what you're likely to be able to do is start filtering and reordering these results so they're more helpful to you. So in this kind of example, you might expect to be able to filter for size of the shoe. And you'll notice when you do this on most websites, a very common way to filter the view is the URL will have something called a query string added to it. So it looks something like this. You have your URL, there's a question mark which denotes the first part of the query string, and then the parameter is size equals 10. So this is essentially telling the web page to load the women's shoes page as usual, but we would only like to see size 10. Quite reasonable as you would expect. You'll likely notice as well on many sites you can add multiple filters, and they'll tend to look like this. So once you've had the first parameter added after the question mark, additional parameters, query string parameters, are added with this and here. So say this ampersand color equals red. So this is filtering now the page we're expecting it to show just women's shoes that are size 10 and maybe are mainly red, or whatever we've decided is tagged as red. And this can go on. So we might want to say shoes that are priced below £30 as well that are red and size 10. And we could even change the order. So order equals des, which is normally descending. So this is quite a usual URL that you would expect. It's really good for users because if I now share this URL with someone, I know that they're going to see the same thing that I'm seeing on my screen. So it's a good user experience. However, as we know, search engines count every individual URL as a different page. Now this means if we have, for instance, 12 sizes of shoes, 10 colors and 6 price brackets, this is tens of thousands of variations, different URLs for each page. So there's going to be a size 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that's red, and then there's going to be maybe a red, blue, black, pink that's for each size as well, and then for each of them we're going to have 6 price brackets. So if we have even 100 products, we've now got 1 million pages, or 1 million pages, more than 1 million pages, just for these women's shoes category pages, which, as we know, we've spoken about crawl budget, this is going to cause us issues.